What's up guys, this is the Samsung Galaxy S4 versus the Apple iPhone 5, so let's get this started off with the display. The Galaxy S4 has a 5-inch 1920 by 1080 Full HD Super AMOLED display with 441 pixels per inch. The iPhone 5 has a 4-inch 1136 by 640 Retina display with 326 pixels per inch. The right side of the Galaxy S4 has this power button that turns the screen on and off, and on the left side of the phone you will find the volume up and down buttons to adjust the volume on your Galaxy S4. On the bottom of the Galaxy S4, you will find the micro USB slot to charge and sync your Galaxy S4, and on the top of the phone you will find a headphone jack alongside an IR blaster to use this phone with your TV. You will find a 13 megapixel camera on the back of the GS4 alongside an LED flash. On the front you will have a 2 megapixel camera. Both are capable of 1080p recording. You also see the speaker here on the GS4. For connectivity on the Galaxy S4, you have Bluetooth 4.0, 802.11ac Wi-Fi with 2.4 and 5 GHz bands. You also have Wi-Fi, NFC, and GPS. You can remove the back plate on the Galaxy S4 and that unveils a 2600 mAh battery alongside the micro SIM and your SD card slot capable of 64 gigabytes of storage. Moving along to the iPhone 5, you have the volume up and down buttons here on the left side of the phone, and right above that is the mute switch that you can mute and silence your phone. Bottom you do have the headphone jack, a microphone, a lightning connector, and the speaker. On the right side of this Apple iPhone 5, you do have the nano SIM tray, and on the very top of the phone, you do have the power button to turn the phone on and off. The iPhone 5 has an 8 megapixel camera with an LED flash on the rear and a 1.2 megapixel front-facing camera, both capable of 1080p recording. For connectivity on the iPhone 5, you have Bluetooth 4.0, 802.11n Wi-Fi with 2.4 and 5 GHz bands, as well as Wi-Fi and GPS. The iPhone 5 has a smaller capacity battery than the Galaxy S4, coming in at 1440 milliamps. Before moving on to the software of both of these phones, the Galaxy S4 that I have is the octa-core CPU, which basically means it has 2 quad-core processors inside of it. And on the left here, the iPhone 5 has an Apple A6 CPU, which is a dual-core 1.3 GHz processor with 1 GB of RAM. Both of these phones run very smooth. Samsung and Apple have definitely tuned their phones to be very smooth. Here we're taking a look at notifications on both of them, and they do look a little bit different. On the Galaxy S4 you have these awesome toggles that Apple definitely needs to integrate, and the software definitely has some key differences between folders, and even the apps look different. Comparing Twitter on both of these phones, you can tell the menu bar is different on both of these applications, and that's just the key differences between iOS and Android. Basically, what do you prefer over the other one? There's no real winner here in my opinion. I think this definitely ties into what you just want to use more often and which you prefer to use on an everyday basis. Android has always been more customizable, and here on the lock screen of the Galaxy S4 you can tell I have these widgets and cool little quick launcher things on the lock screen of the phone, and with the Apple iPhone 5 it's pretty basic. You're really just tied into what Apple allows you to do, and you can't customize really anything on the Apple iPhone 5. And the Galaxy S4 has a lot of these cool new features, including Air View and Air Gesture, which basically allow you to do a lot of cool stuff with the phone that you might not use every day, but it's definitely cool to show off to your friends. Galaxy S4 also has Google Play, which is home to over 500,000 apps. The iPhone 5 obviously has the Apple App Store, which has over 750,000 apps. Both of these phones are very silky smooth. I haven't experienced lag on either of them, and just for comparison's sake, I'm going to show a quick Geekbench test here, and the Galaxy S4 pretty much blows the iPhone 5 out of the water with the octa-core CPU inside of it. But now let's move on to some camera features. The camera software on the iPhone 5 is very basic. You can basically take pictures and record video. You have a few options here, including getting a grid with the camera. You also have HDR mode, and you can also take panoramas with the iPhone 5, but you can go back into the picture and do a few editing tricks here, which basically auto enhance and crop, but that's pretty much it for the iPhone 5 and their camera software. The Galaxy S4 has much better camera software. You have tons of modes that you can take. You have auto beauty face, you have sound and shot, and of course you can take pictures and record video in full 1080p. You can also do HDR video, which is pretty damn sweet, and you also have some few options up here at the top. You have the flash on and off. You have an auto night mode, which enhances the picture during the night in low light. Now you also have a lot of cool settings here. You can basically go in and tweak everything about the picture and the video that you want to take. And the Galaxy S4 definitely has the better camera software. Now you can also go back after you've taken a picture. You can crop things, you can change the color, you can do effects like Instagram has, and basically you have a lot more options. But let's take a look at them head to head. Moving over to the call quality on both of these phones, I tested them on different carriers, so this shouldn't be 100% accurate, but they both sounded very good. They sounded like a normal phone call would. They were both loud and they sounded clear on both ends. In terms of battery, both of the phones had pretty decent batteries, but I did have to charge them up when I got home at night and I went to bed. They definitely could not last me through full 2 days of pretty intense usage. Both of these phones are on all major carriers in the United States. You can also pick up an unlocked version of each of the phones. The Galaxy S4 and the Apple iPhone 5 both come in 16, 32, and 64 gigabyte variants. But again, on the Galaxy S4, you can actually increase that up to 64 gigabytes in size using the SD card slot on the back of the Galaxy S4. Alright guys, well that pretty much wraps up this video, and I think the winner of this phone is very hard to decide because both of the phones are great. In terms of raw specs, the Galaxy S4 obviously wins. It's a lot newer and it definitely has better hardware than the Apple iPhone 5, but I want you guys down in the comments section below to decide what the winner is. Thanks again for watching guys. Be sure to hit that like button and I'll see you guys in the next video. Thanks for watching.